So, in the old days, I used to use the whiteboard all the time. My wife said, "Can you please stop using the whiteboard?" So I did. So then what happened? Then Aaron started using the whiteboard. And so, yes, I don't use the whiteboard a lot anymore, if at all.
That's right. It's the weekend.
But we're short an AV person. You know, we were short another AV person. And then the third AV person was sick all night last night, and so we just went with no AV today. It was Abby that jumped in and filled the spot, so thank her for jumping in at the last minute and getting us some music slides, because that's always a big thing, unless we want to like print off sheets of paper, Anybody remember those days?
That's too Catholic.
Yeah. Maybe we should just create a little book with the hymns in it or something.
Yeah. I'll get the one from the church.
I think it's steal it. Steal it from the church. Yeah.
They just loaned it though.
All right, so I didn't put together a person today. I do have a person, but I didn't have time, or I couldn't figure out how to portray him in a first person account today. So we're gonna go old school, since we're going old school here too. I'm just kind of doing some context, culture, history, and language. And so, pop quiz, the patriarchs, right? The patriarchs of where we get our faith from is right. Abraham,
Jacob.
Isaac, and Esau, right? Correct?
I love Jacob.
Who? Jacob's not the firstborn son. Esau's the firstborn son, isn't he?
It was the decision of the midwife.
No? Not really. Let's
How about
he just tried to sneak in.
I was trying to slip in, dude. I didn't get a message this morning.
I know, man.
So we've
Been off track, man.
Man.
So you're walking home on the highway. Yeah.
John Jackson just sneaks in like it's no big deal. Haven't seen him in 2 months.
I have a tardy slip though, man. I have a tardy slip. My wife wrote it.
Puts out a post about, I was grateful because, when you're about to die, and then all of a sudden you show up. Yeah.
Did he even have a wife?
He's got a pretend wife.
You see?
She's not real.
I know her. I know her too. I
Thank
got
you.
for she's valid.
Alright, so we'll get back to it there. Mandy, since you sent me a message that you wanted to read this weekend, Genesis 25.
My husband's on my reader.
Oh.
Here,
No, you're right. Alright.
What you
I
got?
just
Here.
old school. Give him a
Here we
book.
go.
I need a reader.
That's right, give her a book. I gave her a book.
Okay.
She got
Oh
this.
man, now she really is gonna get upset with me.
Kim didn't bring the
I got it.
Bible because she said we don't need it.
I said, we don't.
She's telling the story.
Genesis what?
I just listened.
Just listen, Genesis 25, please.
The old days.
The old days, yeah, this is so old school here.
Oh, that was not supposed to mean I wanted to read. That is not funny. It was like when you're standing up and you're reading the Bible, it's like, and in the city go, blah, 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 blah. And
So for all the new people here, you're like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah, we're like,
I have no idea. Sorry.
What's this about?
First time. Okay, Mandy, 25, 19 through 34. Can you do that?
Sure.
15 verses.
All right. These are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham fathered Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old, and he took Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, and and of Padan Aram, the sister of Laban. This is mean. Laban and Arabian, to be his wife, and Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord granted his prayer, and Rebekah and his wife conceived. The children struggled together within her, and she said, if this why this is happening to me. So she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said to her, 2 nations are in your womb, and the 2 peoples from within you shall be divided, and the one shall be stronger than the other. The older shall serve the younger. When her days to give birth were completed, behold, there were twins in her womb. The first came out all red, and his body was like a hairy cloak. So they called his name Esau. Afterwards, trying not to
It's an
react.
ugly baby.
I'm sorry.
That's there.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying. Let's go. After his brother came out in his hand and was holding Esau's heel, so his name was called Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them. When the boys grew, Esau was a skillful hunter and the man of the field, while Jacob was a quiet man dwelling in tents. Isaac loved Esau because he ate of his game, but Rebekah loved Jacob more. Once, when Jacob was cooking stew, Esau came in from the field, and he was exhausted. Esau said to Jacob, "Let me eat some of that red stew, for I am exhausted." Therefore, his name was called Edom. Jacob said, "Send me your birthright now." Esau said, "I'm about to die. Of what use is birthright to me?" And Jacob said, "Swear to me now." As he swore to him, he sold his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew, and he ate and drank and rose and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
Excellent. Well done.
That's right. I feel like I should stand up and bow.
Yes. And you're okay to like add a little like ad lib like the blah in there. And
Oh yeah.
you started to get into it a little bit. You
Yeah.
have freedom to do that. Go ahead.
Oh,
So let's get into this a little bit. So I'm kind of like in a movie scene here where we're kind of fast forwarding before we get to some of the other characters. I'm passing by a couple of characters like, wait, what about Isaac? And what about like so I'm gonna fast forward and then in a couple weeks we're gonna come back to Isaac and we're gonna talk about him. But I want to talk about Isaac and I want to talk about Esau. And as we just read through that, what are some of the things that stood out to you as we were talking about, or as Manny was reading Esau, the story of Esau? What stood out?
Harry.
He was hairy. Yes. He was hairy. What else? He was red.
I have the Jewish
Like
people
really
say
red. Like a red hairy, and like yours said like a cloak, mine said a hairy garment. Like that's just it's a fully formed hairy thing, right? Just what is this?
So much heartburn.
Okay, what else?
People from that area don't have red hair.
It didn't say red hair.
No, I just said covered
It
in
said
red.
he was red,
Oh.
covered in hair. Ooh, right? Very different.
Yes.
So it was red as bloody, or was he red like his?
Blushing,
His
red from being hot.
I mean,
Like just red skin. I don't know. It's weird. There's that's it, right? It's just very strange. Keep going. What else do we see about him?
Every time I read this,
Yeah,
I
that's
always get hung up on the fact that he gave up his birthright for a bowl of stew.
Ooh, okay.
Like,
It was lentil stew though.
Nice
oh, well, that's
and
very
bread.
different.
But he was hungry.
he was
You
dying.
got that bread.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
Good. What else?
Rebecca loved Jacob more.
That he was a
Rebecca loved Jacob more. Okay.
and that
What else?
Esau was I think wild man hunter. But I'm not sure.
Hunter. Yes. Okay. Good. Anything else?
Harry's red hot.
He had to be red from blood.
So
You what?
He had to be red from blood if he was a hunter.
that's what it
He's
is.
still
So
on it.
I'm still on
That's
You're
that.
still on the red
red.
thing.
I don't know what red baby is.
Esau's name, interestingly enough, Esau's name comes from the root that means
It means red.
doesn't mean red. Well, it means red, but not really. It means what does it mean again? Made. Made or do. So he came out fully made, fully formed. Like the baby that was like almost like you have a baby and it's like
Benjamin Button.
almost or like Danny DeVito. It's like you know, it comes out.
He
And
was the
it's
Batman.
That's
He's
amazing.
fully formed. He's a fully formed, hairy, rugged little boy. Like, there's something wrong with this little boy. I don't know what's going on here.
No,
But he was,
Newman at his
Like the
and
Grinch.
some of these things, like it was very specific in the text, like he's very different from his other brother. There's a clear difference. Usually when you have twins, right, you have this combination. But here you have the movie twins, right? You have Danny DeVito on one side and you got Arnold on the other side. And as we see in the story, you'll actually see some connections to that movie as we were looking at it, because we see just some interesting character flaws, character differences between these two men. And as we read the story, he was, as you said, he was a hunter. And maybe this was a clue of who he is in general. Because because his name means Esau, because it means made or do, it leads to this idea that he was created and from birth he was just. Have you ever met anybody who was just born with natural talent? Like everything they did, they were good at. I mean, have you ever played sports with somebody and you like, David, you played sports with somebody and there was just somebody out there that just had all this talent and it was just natural. And you were just kind of had to work for everything that you did to try to get in their shadow because they were just so good. This is kind of the idea of Esau. Everything that he did, everything that he picked up was just easy for him. Why do I have this? There we go. And so, this is one of the things too that we see within the family between Isaac and Esau. What did it say about him? Who was the favorite child for Isaac? Esau. Why?
Because he's a hunter.
Not just because he was a hunter, because what about his hunting?
Because
He was good. He brought game to his father.
He was a provider.
Provider for his father, what his father wanted. So he gave his father what he wanted all the time. So his father, in his eyes, he became the favorite child. And as we look at this story and go deeper into it, because he was the favorite child, because he gave him what he wanted, he kind of overlooked some of the flaws that his son might have had. And maybe we see a weakness here within Isaac of how he has some character flaws as well. Overlooking his son's flaws because he sees what he wants to see. As parents, we never see parents today do this, right? Nobody does this. That was only in ancient days.
It's interesting because he was the second born, in his relationship with Ishmael. Now you would have thought you would have thought he would have taken Jacob's side.
He was the firstborn to his mother,
Good point.
right? So there's and wait till we get back to Isaac. I want to get back to Isaac and Abraham and that whole relationship too, because it's all messed up. Like this whole family dysfunction of our patriarchs and everything that we follow is messed up.
Right.
So we're gonna get back to that. All right. So somebody read 29 through 34 again, verses 29 through 34. I think somebody pointed out. Is he? Oh, wait. Alex, go ahead.
Once when Jacob was cooking stew, Esau came in from the field and he was exhausted. And Esau said to Jacob, "Let me eat some of the red stew, for I am exhausted." Therefore his name was Edom. Jacob said, "Sell me your birthright now." Esau said, "I am about to die. Of what use is a birthright to me?" Jacob said, "Swear it to me now." So he swore it to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew, and he ate and drank and rose and went his way. And thus Esau despised his birthright.
All right. So what do we? If we look at his emotions, if we look at his character, Esau, right here in just these passages, what are some of the things that stand out? One word. One word. What? Desperate. Desperate. Okay. What else?
no self-control.
Self-control. Lack.
Deceit?
Deceit. Who's he deceiving?
Jacob's deceived.
Deceit. Like, I feel like he kind of took advantage of him.
Who's taking advantage of who?
Jacob
took
took
advantage.
advantage.
Okay, yeah. Let's say on Esau. We're gonna come back to Jacob. You're right there, but let's stay with
So
Esau.
is the color red important because it's brought no, it brought it up again.
I know.
Give me some of that red stew. So
You
is
know
the
what it
baby
actually
stew?
says
Yeah.
in Hebrew? In Hebrew it says red.
Okay,
So
so
it says stew.
what's
So
the
yeah,
stew
so
with
there's a connection here.
Yeah, very
Right,
important.
red
Go with the
boy.
red.
You the man. Well done.
The light is about to go
This season.
on.
Yeah, what's
You're
the
almost there. You're almost there.
What's the story about Edom? What's that? He says his name is Edom.
yeah.
Esau.
No, but it says something about his name was Edom. I don't
Oh,
have it in
because he
front.
becomes the family of the Edomites
Yeah.
later on in the story.
So how's it read again, Alex? About
But it
the
actually
Edom?
said his name was Edom.
It says his name is Edom. His name was Esau, and then it says
After
he ate the red stew,
He
he
lost
was
his
exhausted.
birthright. He lost his name.
His name changed to Edom.
after he ate the red stew.
Because he lost his birthright. Right?
Red stew.
What's his name?
So we got a name change. We got God changing his name.
Where are you saying that?
1934.
Emily has it.
Verse 30. After he eats the red stew, he changes his name to Edom, and the blue letter Bible says
Mm.
Edom means
This is why his name was called Edom. Yes. And so there's a connection to the red job, red, right? The stew that we call it lentils, but it was red stew, right? We're assuming it's lentils, but I think the point is that there's a connection to his character and what he does. What does he
You
do?
mentioned his character. Jacob, I think everything that we see in here, Jacob loved his son's character. No?
No, hang on. Forget Jacob. We're not even talking about Jacob today.
I'm
We're
sorry.
only going to stop talking about Esau. Oh,
Isaac.
Esau. Okay, go ahead.
I meant Isaac.
He meant Isaac.
Isaac. Yeah. Okay. Esau. What? What about him?
Isaac.
Isaac.
He loved his son's character.
Isaac loved it.
Right. There's a problem here, right? There's problems.
Yeah.
Problems.
But then later God says, Esau Isaac I have loved, but Jacob I have hated. Meaning just in comparison.
Right.
Not that he actually hates him, but
Right. That's later on. We're going to get into that.
But there's a name change. Whenever there's a name change, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal, and it has to do with who he's going to become later on. Right?
the comparison I'm making is between the two fathers.
Right.
The father died and
Well, yeah,
Isaac.
but you can't forget that too.
But
Why does Isaac do what he does?
yeah.
I mean, we're way off topic here, but
I'm
we're just gonna say,
sorry.
Isaac
I
acts
thought
the
I was
way
on-
he does.
Yeah.
Why do children act the way they act?
They don't have to be
imitating
taught.
their parents.
Yeah.
Because of
They-
what they learned from their parents.
they married.
What did Isaac learn from his father?
That he could be sacrificed?
That he was a crazy old man who wanted to kill him for his God.
Oh, I thought it was to get this girl pregnant.
Well, that's culturally acceptable though. That was okay. We're talking about cultural differences. You can't insert your American culture into the Bible, right? And say, well, that was crazy. He had these other women.
No.
Culturally, that was
They all had
acceptable. Not a big deal.
concubines.
But killing your kid, never. Right? Unless you were pagan and sacrificing to Moloch and something else.
Yeah.
Right? But this is the God of creation. And so there's a dysfunction, which I'm going to get to in a couple weeks, right here. There's a dysfunction here to here, which means there's a dysfunction from here to here. There's family dysfunction. What, Don? I'm trying to stay on topic here.
So, was Abraham hearing the right message from God?
So where was I?
Red.
Red.
I don't even know where I am.
That's the takeaway.
It's been fun.
Esau is a man who is driven by his passions. He's driven by impulsivity. He's driven by what he sees, what he wants, and later on in the story, he's quick to anger. He's somebody who just acts without considering the consequences to his actions. Do we know people like this? Right? The stories of the Bible are relevant thousands of years because humans are humans. He is somebody who's more concerned about the material things of life than he is about the future things of life. The sages talk about he is the idea of someone who profanes what is holy. What's holy? Set apart for a specific purpose. Something that's set apart. So if something is called holy, God calls you holy, God calls these things holy, something is to be holy, it is set apart. It's not supposed to be what the word call, ordinary, common. If you are called to be a holy person, John, you are not to look like the rest of the world who does everything against God. You are supposed to be set apart, and not only set apart, you have a purpose in your life. And not only is that, the word for holy, we also translate it as what? Devoted. Something that is holy is devoted. God is holy, which means what? He is devoted to whom? You. And then he says you are to be holy, which means you're to be devoted to who? God. You are to be set apart for a purpose and to devote your life. And there are not just you, there are different things throughout the Bible that he says these things are holy. Now, in this passage, 29 through 34, we just read, what was the holy thing that we saw in this passage that Esau could care less about?
Birthright.
It's birthright. Now, 21st century American culture, like, oldest child, who cares? But anybody listening to this story for thousands of years, a Jewish boy hearing this story for the first time, what would they have done? What he did what? I mean, he's the oldest child. What does it mean to be the oldest child?
You get a double portion.
You get a double portion of what?
Everything.
What?
Everything.
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 Your father,
Yeah.
when he passes away, the inheritance goes to you. The double portion. Now, some can be dispersed, but you are the person who is the family lineage that everybody now from this point forward looks to you as the leader. You have the spiritual responsibility to lead this entire family. Your brothers, their family, everything else. It rests on you. You get the inheritance, the double portion of the inheritance. You have now a spiritual responsibility to be the head of the family.
You get like 2 bowls of soup too.
Stew?
Red?
Red stew?
Red stew.
Red.
But like, is it real time or is it only after your
After
dad
death?
passes
Yeah.
away? Like,
Well-
is there a favor? Like, you know, I don't know. I guess I picture if you have all this food, Esau gets.
Oh, like you
He
get the
gets
double
double
portion
portion.
now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he gets 2.
No, you get that afterwards, but you are looked upon as that person to begin with. Like, it's not necessarily physical until the passing, but up until that point, you're the person that, like, oh, you're the next person in charge. People are looking at you and watching you and expecting what from you?
Leadership.
To become that person. So have you ever been in a position where people are like have expectations of you to do something and you feel the weight of like I have to like perform or I have to like be this person because everybody's looking at me for the right decision. How does that feel?
Not good.
Heavy.
Heavy,
Yeah.
right? This is the responsibility of the firstborn. That's you. And what does Esau believe or think of his firstborn? Right. Care less. I'd rather have a red soup because I'm hungry and I'm angry right now, or maybe the hunt was bad. I've been hunting for 2 days and I didn't get anything and I'm pissed off. I just want some effing food. I don't care about my birthright.
He was hangry.
Somebody needs a Snicker.
Yeah, I looked at one a study on this, and he talks about how Esau was a, like I said, hunter, and then he sees the experience and the idea of not eating. So it's like because you have to takes a long time sometimes, like 2 days.
Mhm.
So like he's used to not eating. The fact is he just gives up his birthright to Jacob. Shows you how much he truly cared for his birthright. Because he did not need to do that.
So he gives up his birthright,
It shows you don't give a shit.
which is holy. He gives up his birthright, which is holy, for a bowl of stew, which is common. It's just stew. He sells what's holy for something that is common.
He sold out.
The idea of making something common is the Hebrew word kahal. Or halal. And it's spelled like this. Chet, lamed, lamed. Right? This is the Hebrew for halal. This means common, ordinary. It means to profane. What does it mean to profane something?
To take the value out of it.
Lower it.
To lower it, to make it nothing, to make it worthless.
Put it down.
Right? Now, there's another word, halal. Instead of with a chet, it's spelled with a hey. Halal.
Halal, yeah.
Right? What is this word? It's the beginning of another word that we sing when we sing, which is what?
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Right? Halal means what? Praise. right? And it's spelled Hey, Lamed, Lamed.
What?
Right? Two words have the same vowels, have the same letters, except for one. And if you just look at the Hebrew, the words themselves almost look identical, except for what?
Like,
One little space.
Yeah.
One little space in the Hebrew.
Like lentil.
like,
Two words that look almost exactly the same that have the opposite meanings in life. One is to praise God, one is to profane God.
Take the value out.
Here's the point. It's not a big leap to move from praising God yourself to profaning God yourself. It's just one little step.
Or the other way, right?
One little dash, one little
I mean, how do we say it? What broke the camel's back?
Straw.
A little straw. What, you died by 1,000 cuts, right? We think of like these moral failures or these problems that we have, these big, huge things, but really, maybe it's just these little things that add up over time. These little things where instead of praising God or lifting God up or being a person of moral character, in this one little thing, you choose like, well, who's it gonna hurt if I just do this?
Like the fences, huh?
It is offense. Well, yeah. Who's it gonna hurt if I just decide to do this? It's a move from praising God to eventual spiritual pollution, to moral bankruptcy, to moral emptiness, because it's just this little thing. But these little things add up everywhere, don't they? Don't in marriage?
stack up.
Right? In marriage, like in all the counseling I've done, it's usually never like, sometimes it's these big things, but a lot of times it's like these little things that the spouse says over and over and over, and then this spouse says these little things over and over and over.
The little
And then it's that little thing that finally like, well, screw you, like I'm done. Because of the little things.
Point. So everything I look at life is love, or lack of. So if his mama loved Jacob more, not saying he's a victim, I'm just saying a lack of love can do some serious lack of love from God.
Maybe,
You don't understand.
But once again, we can't insert our culture into their culture.
That's not culture, brother. Love's love.
Well, but in that culture, like the father, the love of a father, you know, like because I want to be seen by the father in that culture is different than, well, I mean, even our culture, we want to be seen by our fathers. Like, I understand what you're saying about the love of a mother.
Oh, I hope you understand that. Yeah.
I understand that, but there's something, and I've seen this working with kids for many, many years. You can have a great mother at home, but when you have a father that's not at home, or is working, or always on the road, or not showing love, or doing things that's never around, 9 times out of 10, girls that struggle with promiscuity, or drugs, or loneliness, or these things, come from the fact that the father was never around.
Goes both ways.
There's no father figure.
But it doesn't. And statistically, I've researched this. Like, there is things with the mother there, but there's just something different with the father. I'm telling you, I've looked this up for many years. I worked with youth for 20 years. Like, I don't know what the reason is, but there's something that's there. Anyways, we're way off track. Love is, yes, I understand what you're trying to say about love, but I won't agree with you on that.
I won't agree with you either.
Second point.
Good week.
Second point. It says Esau was fully formed. He was made. This carries the idea, as we said, that somebody who's just born with natural potential. You've had people in your life with natural potential before? I mean, I remember playing with a kid when I was in college, and he was at Pima and I was at Scottsdale. We played against each other, and this shortstop had just the unbelievable natural ability. Like, everything that he did on the field was like looked easy, and I kind of like got to the point where I hated him for it. Like, every time we play, I'm like, I hate this guy, you know, like, cause his attitude was like flippant. Like, he just made everything look easy, and he didn't work hard. He just kind of walked off the field. Everything he had was easy to him, and it pissed me off. The very next year, I transferred to Abilene and played at Hardin University, and you'll never guess who also showed up there. This, I gotta hold the words back, right? This guy shows up, and he's on the team with me, and I'm like, I hate you.
That's
right?
awesome.
Yeah, and then come to find out, like, within a few months, we're like the best of friends, and
Best
like
friend.
we're all roommates together, like this. But I'll never forget it because I was always the kid who had to work hard to even be on the team. And the start was like I would be the first one on, the last one off. This guy would barely show up, and he never cared. He had all the talent that I wanted, that I dreamed of, and he had it in his pinky. And he was like, I don't know if I'm gonna keep playing. I'm like, you, like, how dare you? You have all of this talent, and you are wasting it. And here's Esau. And this is why the red, and the maid, and the dew, and all these things matter, because Esau is the archetype in biblical culture as lost potential. Do you get that? He's the archetype for lost potential. He is someone who possessed all of the raw materials, all of the greatness, everything that you needed to be this great leader, to be this great son, to take Abraham, Isaac, and Esau into the next generation, to be all these things. And he's a skilled hunter. Like he can talk with people. He can go and do the hard things. He's everything that you need in a person, and he threw it away. He threw it away because he couldn't master his own natural desires. He allowed his emotions and his feelings and his yetzer to control what he was supposed to be doing. He failed because he placed what I want right now, my immediate gratification, my immediate needs, my immediate emotional feelings. I want what I want now above the future, what will come. He had raw power, yet he lacked direction. Because things were easy to him, he never developed discipline. He never learned how to control himself. I mean, what happens when you have tons and tons of energy without direction? You create destruction.
Yes, dangerous.
I mean, little kids. You have little kids, right? If you just like leave the room, you got like a bomb going off. Like they're gonna be everywhere, throwing chairs and tables and doing whatever they want to do. Because we need order in life, we need direction, we need structure. And we need to work on that inner structure as well. There's an ancient saying in one of the sages, they say, who is strong? And they answer it with, he who subdues his personal inclination. The person that can control his inner desires is the person who's strong. Esau is described as the unrefined soul. Somebody with raw natural talent, but never refined it. Never made anything of it. He refused to change. And the last thing, I remember talking with a pastor years ago, he said, the last thing that you ever want to hear is somebody tell you at 35, 40 years old, boy, you got a lot of potential. What does that tell you? Because you never did anything with what you had.
I didn't do it yet.
I'll never forget that. It was like a searing knife in me. Because I was like, is he talking to me? Is he really talking to me?
How old were you at the time?
35, 40.
Last year.
30.
You were 30?
Yeah.
Last year.
I'm like,
Yeah, last year.
That just happened
I
last
think you
year.
might have been talking to
You're still enjoying your life.
But it's never too late.
Yeah, I was about to say. So you're
No,
saying
and-
35, 40,
It
you
is.
should probably
yeah.
be
But
on
the
that
idea of
together.
Should
but
have
what
it
I've
together.
learned about the idea of refinement is that you don't ever get to greatness. Refinement isn't a isn't a thing that gets accomplished. It's something that happens constantly. Refinement is the process of constantly making yourself better, constantly learning self-control, self-discipline, constantly doing the things that you need to do to be stronger. It's like working out. I mean, all these things from neurology to biology to everything is all connected. You can work out and work out and work out. What happens when you stop working out? You atrophy. It shrinks. Right? You can study, and the moment you stop using your brain, what happens? It atrophies. It stops using itself. You get dumber.
I think this goes, like the couple things that I got from this was the parables of the talents. Like you get a talent, you go bury it, do nothing with it, and you're shamed for it. But also, we're constantly called to get better. And I think about Moses. In the beginning of Moses' story, he didn't talk good. I don't talk good. I need Aaron to come along with me. But he was supposed to progress throughout his time, and at the end, he had power in his staff, and he hit the rock, and he wasn't supposed to use the power through hitting. He was supposed to use his words, and God punished him for not being able to learn how to use his words to be powerful and not action. He wasn't led into the promised land because he didn't learn.
Well, not only that, there's 2 points to that. That's the first one, right on. The second point was he got punished not only for his words, but because what was inside? His emotions. Because he couldn't control his emotions, he's like, screw you, I'm going to do it myself.
His same fault in the beginning, killing the Egyptian.
Same fault. Couldn't control his emotions, and so he gets punished.
What do you feel like? Because I guess I have a fear of like, what am I ever gonna be moving? Like, am I growing? What do I do to grow? Like the feeling of being stagnant, the feeling of like I'm trying, but I'm not going anywhere. So I am scared that by 35, somebody's gonna be like, you do, like whatever you just said. I feel like, so what's the encouragement? What does God tell us of when we're right here in that season of maybe apathy or, feeling like we're not doing good enough or not good enough or we don't have what it takes to complete the purpose that he set apart for us? Like, what encouragement do you have for that?
Two. One, it blows my mind that you would even think that you're like that, because I see you as somebody who's like one of the most faithful people in here who's constantly working on growth and change. Like,
Right.
So like for those words that come out of your mouth, it shows a tremendous
Who the hell am I?
amount of humility, right? Because that's like mind blowing to me.
Right.
But secondly, it's just a process.
Yeah.
It's not, like I said, it's not like you're gonna attain this. It's what are you doing monthly, weekly, daily? What are you doing on a regular basis to change? Right? It's not about working on that. It's not about benching 225 and you're like, oh, I did it. It's like, what are you doing every week? Are you working out every single week to make yourself better? It's not about getting to that number. It's just about the work of doing it, because the work of doing it is what brings the ultimate change.
Movement is life.
Movement is life. Thank you.
I think too, you have to surround yourself with people that want to better themselves. You have to, because I deal with that at work. Like, I started a new route, and the guy that had it before me, he's like, dude, what are you doing? You're burning it up. You shouldn't be in this early. And I'm like, that's how my work ethics, dude. Like, that's how I work. And it's like, it just blows my mind, because every day I go to work and I'm like, all right, I'm going to make today better than yesterday. And to be around people that don't think like that, it aggravates me, because I'm like, geez, dude, like.
I love that. As you said that, like this. I've been looking at this for a couple days now, and you hit it on the head, right? It goes back to what he taught a few months ago on the straight. What do we see in the hay, right? Water coming in and water going out. This is wider, and then this is narrow. What does this have? It has borders, it has a straight. Right? We need people in our lives, as we're moving, that push us and squeeze us and refine us. It's not just me doing the work. You hit on the head. we have to have people in our lives that challenge us, that
Yeah.
push us, that encourage us, that love us, that call us out.
Yes.
You can't be around a bunch of people who like say great things about you all the time, because that's crap. It just is, right? It's fluff. It means nothing. You need people in your life who are really
Check.
going to say,
They
"Why are
check.
you doing that?"
Yeah.
Your wife?
Yeah,
I swear.
And what are even
the
like
perfect
Horrible
enemy.
person. I'm a horrible person. I'm just telling you.
No, I mean, it's just, I'm saying that in a good way.
Yeah, he's saying like the
I'm
wife
saying
is
in a
like,
good way.
like a good thing. Yeah,
So bad.
your wife should be one of these walls,
Right.
one of these straits. Absolutely.
Well, I don't usually say anything like that, but I have a question, and it might be more psychological than anything spiritual or anything, but the friend with the natural talent for the baseball, why was he still doing it?
His parents told him to, scholarship.
Was it self-esteem? Was it his dad pushed him into it? Why was he still doing it if he didn't really care? Because I have a nephew like that. He has an unbelievable talent as a kicker for high school. And he does not care that he can kick a 60-yard field goal. He don't care. And we're like, you could be something. He's like, whatever. Right?
Well, you have to put
30
it in
years
context.
ago, Kim, I don't know.
Right.
I don't care. I didn't care what his father did or what his parents did. I just didn't like him.
Right. All of that's contextual because this kid knows he's already got the money.
Right.
He's not poor. You see what I'm saying? Poor
Essentially.
drives you in certain directions.
So what? Okay, so here's the thing. Back to the story. What are the things that we learn from this that drive us? What are the things that we can learn from Esau to say like, okay, what can I do physically, right here, tangibly? You know, and we'll go back to the bowl of lentils, right?
Keep what is holy holy.
Well, that too. But what are the triggers that lead you to making a stupid choice?
Emotions, your feelings.
What are the triggers
Ego.
in your life that say, I want immediate gratification right now?
hungry.
And I'm willing to trade something long term for what I want right now. I mean, maybe it's for some of you it's chocolate because you're stressed. Maybe it's alcohol. Maybe it's social media. Like you have to consume social media when you jump in bed for the next hour while you're sitting in bed, and the moment you wake up, you have to get on social media to see what people are talking about. Like, what are these things that I need immediate gratification? Maybe it's porn. Maybe it's people pleasing. Like, what is it in your life that is like, this is a trigger that moves me from praising God to profaning God? What are the triggers in your life? The first step to this process of refinement is self-awareness. Asking yourself, why am I thinking this? Why am I doing this?
Mhm.
Why is my urge like, I got to do this right now?
Mhm.
Why?
Selfish.
The second step then is to stop. First, learn to be self-aware, then stop. You have to, what you're doing is you're acting on impulsive, what is the word called? It is impulsivity is a reflexive nervous system response. Right? You're just reacting. You're not thinking, you're not using the prefrontal cortex, you're using the back of your brain that says, I want this and I want it now. And so you just act. And so the way that you have to do that is you have to train your brain, wait to stop, step back for a second. Before I make this decision, ask a few questions. You have to retrain that part of your brain. You have to step back, observe the situation. Then, once you've thought about it, then proceed forward. Do I really want to do this? Yes, this would be good for me. No, that's a stupid thing to do.
Little
Then-
mind transformation.
We saw Esau was a man in the fields, Jacob was a man in the tents. This is metaphorically, seen by the sages as the metaphor of refinement. It was the metaphor of study and self-discipline. All of us were created for more. Everyone in this room was created for more, to be a light, to be something great. In fact, the Greek word for character comes from a word that means chisel or tool. That's what character is defined in Greek. It's a chisel. And so Aristotle looked at this and he saw the idea like the character comes from the everyday decisions that you make chisels the character of who you will become. The choices, the habits, the decisions that you make every day determine who you will become later. We live in a comfort crisis. I pulled this book out because I just got this a few weeks ago. I showed it to Alex. We live in a comfort crisis. We struggle with doing hard things. We just can't do them. It's so easy to just do the easy thing. It's so easy to just pull up and swipe left, or do whatever. Order my Uber. My food. I don't want to go out food. I'm gonna order it in. Like we are so comfortable with today that we struggle with hard things.
It's killing us.
And it is. Spiritually, physically, emotionally, it is killing us. And we have to get back to a place where we're willing to do hard things. Alex talked about this last week, and I printed these off. So I printed off these prayers that we've been doing every morning. Every morning we get up, I get up, I work out, and then I get in the shower. And I'll wash, but then each one of these lines is a prayer that you say, and then you go into cold water. So you take a cold plunge shower, and so you'll say the prayer, step out, say the next prayer, step back in, step out, say the next prayer. And so there's about 6 or 7 times where you get under cold water.
For how long?
Before you have a heart attack.
Until your thoughts are
Until
cleansed.
you get your breath back.
Yeah, it depends. It really depends. You don't have to do it long, but just the idea of moving out into the warm and then back into the freezing cold water, there's something that shocks your brain into what you're saying and thinking and how that affects you the rest of the day. I've been doing this for several weeks now, and it's I noticed a difference in the way that I speak to my wife, to my kids, to people around here. It has changed the way that I think. And it's hard. And I've been doing cold showers for a long time, but not like this. Not like where I've combined them with these prayers and these scripture verses and moving in and out of hard water. You can get into water and you can sit in it for a minute, and then it gets natural. It's easy, right? Cold showers are easy like that. But you step out and then do it again 7 times, that's hard. I got a few of them up here. You want one? You want to do something hard? You want to try something hard? You know who grabbed one from me before she left on Thursday? Everly. She's like, give me that card. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this cold shower.
I get cold wrist after.
Yeah.
So,
It's just cold.
I got so much stuff here that we're way off, but I'm going to end it there. I think for us, the lesson that we have to learn is that Esau is a man who lived by his passions, his desires, his lack of self-control, his immediate gratification. When I saw that, I was like, how many people get mad because Amazon didn't show up today?
Oh,
What do you mean I gotta wait an extra day?
John called.
I deal with that on the regular, man.
First world problem.
oh yeah, first world problems. First world
This is our culture.
First
We
world
can't do
problem.
hard things.
She calls it first world problem.
It is. And the first world problem is gonna accelerate with AI.
Yeah.
It's gonna get even worse, which is why we, as a people, need to get back to the heart of things. Learn to do hard things.
Yeah, we need to get back to analog.
So many people how many people actually read this? That's too hard. I don't understand the words. It takes too much time. I don't understand it. We have every excuse in the world why not to open this up. Yet this every day has the opportunity for God to speak into your life. The creator of the universe, of existence, through this, can speak to you about what's going on in your life. That's too hard.
And the funny part about this, when you choose comfort out after doing the hard work, eventually you be forced to do the hard work because comfortability, a lot of empire, like Roman Empire, a lot of one reason why they fell was because they got so comfortable. And the idea placed it in riches and power. That eventually, when the comfortability came, when they had to pay that price for it, with the Franks or the barbarians, they had to deal with that. Next thing you know it, they had to deal with hardship again. It came upon them again.
So, yeah, so this is a choice. And we can continue down one road of comfort, or we can choose a harder path. So, that's all I got. That was a lot. I'm way over. Let me pray. Father, we thank you for this Sabbath. We thank you for an opportunity to just open up your word. I pray, Father, that you can speak to each of us of how Esau is a reminder that we are to live up to the potential that you've put in each one of us, to refine that potential, to become who you've created us to be every day, to work, to grow closer to you, and to live out what you've given us. We praise your holy name. Amen.
Amen.